Friction. When a block is placed on a surface and a force is exerted on the block, then in response to the force and weight of the block, the ground exerts force which is called reaction. Depending on the magnitude of force and gravity, reaction varies in magnitude and direction. That is, it is arbitrary in magnitude as well as direction. To simplify this reaction force, it is broken into two perpendicular components. One is called normal, which always acts perpendicular to the surface and is repulsive, and the other act along surface, which we call as friction. So friction is a force which always acts along surface. Let us understand this using a diagram. Here the man pushes the block and we can see in the magnifier that the contact surfaces are not smooth. That is, the obstacles of the block or the surface do not fit into each other. So when man exerts a force on the block initially, then the block is unable to move as the obstacles do not let the block to move, as well as the bonds which are formed between molecules in contact between the surfaces also do not let the block to slide. When the force is increased, then at a certain point the block starts sliding, and thereafter the force of opposition offered by the ground remains constant in magnitude. So initially, when the force was applied and the block was unable to slide, the friction which acted in backward direction was static. Its value varied along with the force. That is, static friction varies with the applied force F, and its magnitude lies in the range 0 to maximum value, which is called limiting friction. Limiting friction occurs when the obstacles are on the verge of breaking and the block will start motion just after. A static friction has variable range of values from 0 to limiting friction. In case of a static friction, surfaces do not slide against each other as all the obstacles are not broken. Therefore, the magnitude of a static friction depends on magnitude of the applied force. Let us consider the case of kinetic friction. When the force exerted by man is large, then the block starts sliding forward. In this case, the magnitude of friction becomes constant and friction here is called kinetic. We call friction kinetic when surfaces in contact slide over each other. So remember, when the surfaces in contact do not slide over each other, the friction is termed static, but when they slide over each other, the friction is called kinetic. The direction of sliding determines direction of kinetic friction because the magnitude of kinetic friction, which is constant, is given by mu k times normal, where mu k is called coefficient of kinetic friction and n is normal between the surfaces in contact. Larger value of normal means the obstacle go deep into each other and better is bond between contact molecules. Therefore, larger will be the force required to break those obstacles and bonds, and hence in response the value of kinetic friction will be large. Thank you.